Hi, welcome back to Finally Revealed. I'm Michelle. In this episode, I want to talk about 5 ways that you can be safer when living in an apartment. Some of these things you're going to want to find out before you sign a lease and move into an apartment, and they may impact which unit you choose or which complex you choose. All right, before I start, if you are interested in these and other videos, go ahead and subscribe, and that way you'll be notified when the new ones come out. And you can always give us a comment or a like at the end if it was helpful. Okay? All right, 5 safety tips for living in an apartment. The first thing is, if you are living alone, avoid moving into a ground level apartment or street level apartment. This is true even if you have a central entrance point. One place I lived in, it was a great place. You would go in and there was a courtyard, interior courtyard, and then you went into the individual apartments from there. The only problem is if you're on the ground floor, you have a patio, you have the sliding doors, you have windows, you may have a back door, and it's just extra entry points that are easy for burglars or other people to break in. That's unnecessary. If there are multiple levels, go up higher. It makes it, you are a harder target to get to, and it increases your odds of staying safe. The next suggestion is to beware of security cameras. I had a case several years ago, and it was kind of sad because the complex showed a gate, and this also applies with a gate or even some type of a security guard. They're not necessarily there to protect you all the time, and you can't rely on them. You have to be smart yourself. And for example, in this case, the security cameras were there. Well, the cameras were stolen, or back when they would have film, that was stolen, or they were unplugged. So while they might be there, they're really not any safer than having a fake security sign that somebody might stick in their front yard. As far as being really safe, if you have those features, you want to know that they're actually working. But don't use those and rely on those as a substitute for you being smart and being aware of your own surroundings and where you're living. The next thing, the third one, is to know the management policies. And by this, I'm talking about the repair people, or when there's going to be exterminators to spray for bugs, or if they're coming in for, you've made a call, or even if there is some emergency in another unit that causes somebody to have to come into your unit. Uniforms, do they have ID badges? What is their protocol? What type of paperwork will they leave behind, or what kind of a notification should you expect to get? You want to know about all of this stuff in advance so that you're not surprised, and also so that you can tell the difference between when it's legitimate and when it's not legitimate, so that you cannot be lulled into a false sense of security, and also not be alarmed unnecessarily if a person is following the proper rules and they are a proper person to be in or around your unit. And the next one, add inside locks. Read your lease before you sign it. Usually there's not a provision prohibiting you or saying that you can't add your own locks. And I'm talking about locks that you can only work from the inside. Primarily, these are going to be used at night. There's no reason why management or anybody would have to get into you at night while you're sleeping. It's a way for you to get out. Obviously, you're going to be using it when you're occupying the unit and when you're actually in the unit. So as long as it's not a breach of your lease, it's not provided for as a prohibition in your lease, it's not something that requires a key, which is usually when you have a key, you have to give a copy to the management. And so that's just an extra level of security for you. It could be a chain lock or a flip lock or something like that, or simply for patio doors and sliders, you can use those tension bars and put those across. So that's extra it's extra secure for you. And like I said, when you're there, and primarily when you're there alone or when you're there at night. Then last suggestion, number 5, talk with your neighbors. Now, this doesn't mean you have to be best friends, although I have made some of my best friends from being neighbors, and they're lifelong friends and they're great. If you talk to your neighbors, you don't have to be best friends with them, but know who they are, know what hours they are working or what hours they are home, and this will help you know who is around your complex and who is around your unit and your space. It helps you identify who should be there and who shouldn't be there. Pay attention and be pleasant. They can help you in a time of need. They'll know. Tell them your hours so that they know, and they can help watch out for your place. And also, this happened to me in a place that I lived. I actually had a series of thefts. People were stealing hood ornaments off of cars and other things. The management of the complex, it was a nice place. They were not telling everyone because they didn't want people to be worried that they were living in a crime-infested area. Well, news for you is that if you don't tell your residents about it, they can't help police each other and look out for each other. One guy had it happen to him multiple times. So the burglar or whoever is coming back, wait till he got it replaced and take it again. That's complete waste of time, and it's completely unnecessary and can be avoidable. So if you know who they are and kind of what building they're in, what unit they're in, you know who is supposed to be there and who's not supposed to be there, and then communicate with each other. You're in and out at a different time than they are. You can kind of look out for each other, and it just builds a greater sense of community, and it can help make you safer, truly. I hope this was helpful for you. If you know somebody who's addressing some of these issues now, or it might be helpful for them to know, go ahead and share it and leave a